Alright, let's talk about Jurassic World Rebirth, because wow, that ending left us with a lot to unpack. We've got mutant dinosaurs, shady biotech secrets, a creepy abandoned island, and a final twist that flips the entire franchise on its head. Spoilers ahead. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Gone are the days of T-Rex chasing jeeps. This time, we're dealing with flying raptors called Mutadons, and a genetically warped monster called the D-Rex that makes the Indominus look like a petting zoo attraction. Whether you're still catching your breath from all the chaos, or wondering how this all connects to the rest of the Jurassic universe, you're in the right place. We're breaking down who survived, what those mutant dinos really are, and how this ending just cracked the door wide open for a whole new era of Jurassic stories. So grab your gear, because we're heading back to Isle Saint-Hubert and things are about to get wild. Let's dive in. Hey! Who actually survives Jurassic World Rebirth? So let's start with the big question. Who makes it out alive? This movie does a great job building tension by splitting the narrative between two groups. The Delgado family, who are just trying to enjoy a vacation, and a hardened group of mercenaries hunting for dinosaur DNA. By the final act, things have gotten chaotic. Most of the mercenaries are picked off one by one. RIP to Bobby, Nina, and Leclerc. They honestly never stood a chance. The island's overrun not just with your typical T-Rexes and raptors, but horrifying mutants like the D-Rex and flying monsters called Mutadons. From the hunting party, only Zora, Loomis, and Duncan make it out alive. Martin Krebs, the shady company man who hired them, gets what's coming to him, eaten by the D-Rex. No one's shedding a tear for him. The Delgado family, surprisingly, all survive. Ruben, his daughters Isabella and Teresa, and Teresa's boyfriend Xavier dodge death again and again. There are close calls, like when Teresa gets cornered by a pair of Mutadons. But thanks to Xavier's quick thinking and a conveniently placed flare, they make it through. Duncan has what looks like a heroic sacrifice moment. He lures the D-Rex away so the others can escape, but it turns out to be a fake out. He's bloodied but alive, showing up just as Zora thinks they've lost him. Classic misdirection. All in all, only 5 named characters die on screen, which is surprisingly low for a Jurassic film. That's a clear sign the filmmakers are keeping options open for sequels.
Please open the door for me.
What the heck is the D-Rex and who made it? Okay, time for the meat of the story, these mutant dinosaurs. So what is the D-Rex? Short answer, it's InGen's worst secret. Jurassic World Rebirth introduces a terrifying lineup of mutant dinosaurs, including the D-Rex, also known as Distortus Rex, and the airborne Mutadons. These aren't just genetically engineered like the Indominus Rex from earlier films, they're the result of even older and more unstable experiments. According to Krebs, InGen started these experiments decades ago, trying to push the limits of cloning technology. The goal? To make dinosaurs even more exciting for the public. But instead of theme park mascots, they ended up with nightmarish monsters. Once they realized they'd messed up, InGen shut it all down and buried the truth. They hid the labs on Isle Saint-Hubert, wrote off the island as a research failure, and moved on. But those labs? They weren't empty. Over the years, the mutant creatures adapted, evolved, and took over the island. We see these beasts fighting traditional dinosaurs, like when a Mutadon absolutely wrecks a velociraptor, making it crystal clear how dangerous they are. Isle Saint-Hubert becomes a grim warning. This is what happens when science goes too far without any oversight. The mission that could change the world. So why are the mercenaries even on the island? What's the endgame? Their mission is to retrieve DNA samples from 3 massive dinosaurs. At first, it sounds like another greedy corporate plot, until Loomis drops a bombshell. The DNA could have medical applications, cures, treatments, maybe even regeneration. Krebs, of course, wants to sell it to the highest bidder through his pharmaceutical employer, but Loomis wants the information released to the public. He believes it could help millions. In the end, Zora sides with Loomis. She uploads the data to the web using satellite comms, effectively blowing the lid off everything. That decision sets up a future where dinosaurs aren't just entertainment or threats. They're potentially humanity's next great leap forward. But there's a dark side to this too. If this data falls into the wrong hands, we're not just talking about medical miracles. We're talking about biological weapons, hybrid monsters, genetically engineered soldiers. The film ends on that fine line between hope and horror.
Time to move.
Connections to the older films. Now let's talk continuity. Jurassic World Rebirth tries to stand on its own, but it does nod to the older films in meaningful ways. The biggest connection? Loomis. He casually mentions that he was a student of Dr. Alan Grant. Yep, that Alan Grant, the paleontologist who barely survived the events of Jurassic Park and Dominion. It's a small reference, but a powerful one. It tells us Grant went back to academia, and Loomis may carry forward his legacy. We also get a peek into what happened to InGen. The company's officially bankrupt, having crumbled after years of lawsuits, cover-ups, and catastrophic PR disasters. But it's through InGen's bankruptcy that Krebs's company discovered the hidden labs and the mutant dinosaurs. That opens up a whole new legal and ethical mess, because now the playing field is wide open for other companies to get involved. Basically, Rebirth isn't ignoring the past. It's building on it in smart, subtle ways that leave room for future expansion.
She's scared. What is she scared of?
So, does this movie set up a sequel? At first glance, Jurassic World Rebirth feels like a self-contained story. The Delgado family gets their emotional closure. Ruben finally accepts Xavier. The mercenaries either complete their mission or die trying. Zora, Loomis and Duncan escape the island with a sense of victory and dread. But when you look closer, there are so many threads that could lead to a sequel. For one, the release of the DNA data is a massive development. That kind of information doesn't just disappear. Scientists, corporations, governments, they're all going to want a piece of it. Second, the mutant dinosaurs are now known, and if history has taught us anything, it's that humanity can't resist playing God. More mutants, more hybrids, more chaos, it's basically inevitable. Third, we still don't know what happened to the original InGen staff who worked on the St. Hubert experiments. Were they silenced? Did any escape? Could one of them return as a villain? The possibilities are wide open. Also, Duncan, Zora and Loomis make a solid new trio to anchor a future trilogy. Their chemistry works, and they each bring something different to the table. Zora's leadership, Loomis's scientific insight, and Duncan's raw survival instinct. A bold new direction. Jurassic World Rebirth isn't just another dinosaur flick. It's a wake-up call. It dares to ask, what if dinosaurs weren't the endgame, but just the beginning? By introducing the concept of mutant DNA and its potential applications, the film shifts the tone of the franchise. It's no longer just about running from prehistoric creatures. It's about facing the consequences of unchecked ambition. The franchise has always danced around this idea, from Jurassic Park's warnings about cloning to Jurassic World's genetically engineered monsters. But Rebirth takes it further. It gives us a glimpse into a future where dinosaurs are tools, cures, weapons, even symbols of progress. And that's both terrifying and exciting. So while this film might feel like a standalone adventure, it could very well be the foundation for the next phase of the franchise. Whether it's sequels, spin-offs, or something entirely new, Jurassic World Rebirth leaves the door wide open. Our nerdy thoughts. Alright, that's everything we know about the ending of Jurassic World Rebirth. What did you think of the movie? Did the D-Rex freak you out as much as it did us? Do you think Zora did the right thing by releasing the DNA info to the world? And what kind of sequels would you want to see? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into your favourite movies and series. Until next time, watch out for flying Mutadons. And remember, just because you can clone dinosaurs doesn't mean you should. Peace.